I'm a 36-year-old man. I just discovered that my 34-year-old wife has been unfaithful. I'm at a loss for what to do next. Here's some background information. We've been together for nearly 17 years, have 3 kids, and an old house that we've been slowly fixing up for the past 2 years. Our budget isn't great, we have no savings, and we're dealing with a lot of debt. She's the only woman I've been with, and before me, she had just a few one-night stands. We were both a bit inexperienced when we met. She has been a significant part of my life. We've faced tough times together and have always supported each other. I believed we were among the few who could keep going no matter what happened. I guess I made a mistake. With everything happening, fixing the house, working full-time, making ends meet, and ensuring the kids are okay, we sort of lost ourselves. The tough financial situation and health problems made things worse. My wife struggled with weight loss for a long time, and nothing seemed effective. Her self-esteem hit rock bottom. We were both feeling down, but instead of reaching out and supporting each other, we kept it to ourselves. I focused on computer games to escape our issues while she was always on her phone. This spring and summer, everything began to decline. She was out with her friends and partying, while I was at home with the kids. I figured if I let her vent a bit, she'd return home happier, but that didn't happen. I attempted to push aside the uneasy feeling that was creeping into my stomach. I heard a rumor that she was seen kissing a guy at a dance in a nearby town. I asked her about it, and she denied it, claiming the guy tried to kiss her, but she pushed him away. I wasn't completely sure, but I didn't want to pressure her too much since I was trying to show that I trusted her. As summer went on, I saw that she became much more protective and secretive with her phone. One night on August 22nd, I accidentally saw her Facebook password. I decided to check it out to see if I could find anything about that dance from earlier that summer. What I discovered was much more troubling. I noticed she was kissing some guy while really drunk until her friend pulled her away, but that was nothing compared to what happened next. I logged into her Messenger and Skype. I discovered that she had been talking online with 2 guys from abroad, A and B, for several months. It began on Instagram when a random guy, A, sent her some nice messages. They started chatting on Skype in early June after that. She began sharing nude photos with him after talking for less than 2 weeks, only holding back for a short time. The event with the guy she kissed took place later that month. She was talking to this guy A until mid-August, when he revealed his true intentions. He was a scammer using a stolen account and was just sending her pictures from that profile. She had been tricked into sending him pictures of her most private areas. It looked like she was starting to fall for him. By then, she had already started talking to Guy B, which also began on Instagram. It quickly turned into nude pictures and sexual conversations. In both situations, they imagined coming to our country and meeting my wife at a hotel. She never said anything bad about me or anything like that, just mentioned me as if I was simply present. She told them I treated her well, but then she mentioned how much she enjoyed talking to them and how they made her feel good. The worst is still ahead. I discovered some troubling things in a chat with one of her female friends. They attended a 2-day town festival in a nearby town in early July. They rented a room, which I had agreed to, thinking it would be fine. I was aware that my wife's friend, who struggles with panic attacks, had to stay overnight at the local hospital. I found out through their chat that she talked about a 41-year-old guy from our town, Guy C. He's married with kids and not happy in his relationship. She met him that night. He came over to talk and tried to go further, but my wife told her friend that she had stopped him. She didn't say the name, but I figured out a likely suspect since our town is small. I also checked my online phone records and saw that she had sent a message to a number belonging to a guy who matched the description. I was really worried. I kept what I found from my wife for now. I was worried about how it would affect the kids, so I decided to wait. I planned to talk to her on Saturday, August 24th. I called my mom to watch the kids. My wife is taking classes for a degree related to her job. When she got home from class, I asked her to sit with me and shared what I knew. Everything was calm, with no shouting or insults. 2 sad people, one feeling angry and hurt, talked all night. She assured me that nothing occurred between her and C, and that her online actions were just an attempt to boost her self-esteem because she believed I had stopped loving her. She didn't really blame me for it, and she didn't yell at me for looking around. She mentioned that she believed I didn't like her anymore since she wasn't losing weight. When those guys started giving her compliments, she said she became addicted to it. She claimed she didn't intend to hurt me. She was focused on herself and wanted to keep getting compliments, which led her to send them nude pictures. She said she understood now that she was cheating on me, but at the time, she didn't fully grasp what she was doing, even though she knew it was wrong. I really wanted to trust her. I had worries. We chose to work on our marriage and get counseling. Over the weeks, it felt like things were improving. She's been much more loving and attentive towards me. Our sex life is good, and we're spending more time together than we used to. I had a nagging feeling that she was keeping something important from me. After our second meeting with the marriage counselor last week, she finally came clean. She confirmed what I had worried about but really hoped wasn't true. That night in July, she slept with C. Even though she claimed to feel bad and ashamed afterward, she continued to communicate with him on social media. She confessed to meeting him twice after that, but it was just some kissing. She attempted to reach out to him again a few days after I confronted her in August. I just froze after that. I stayed calm and didn't raise my voice or use any bad language. I didn't hurt her at all. I felt a mix of relief and humiliation when she finally admitted what I had suspected. The hurt was deeper than anything I had experienced before. I haven't rushed into anything. I haven't shown her the ring yet, and I haven't confronted the other guy. I don't want to be the one to tell his wife or get myself into trouble. It wasn't him who ended my marriage contract. It was my wife. I'm really confused about what to trust now. I never expected her to act this way. She keeps saying she was an idiot and selfish and that she feels really bad for hurting me. She claims she's willing to do whatever it takes to mend things and regain my trust, hoping to feel worthy again. I really don't think I can trust her again or look at her the same way. I love her and enjoy being around her. Seeing her smile makes me happy, but it also hurts my heart. I want this to work for the kids and because our finances are tough. We can't afford a divorce, but I'm worried that I'll lose myself and my self-respect if I stay in this situation. How can I possibly forgive her for cheating on me with 3 different guys? Well, 4, if you include that one time she kissed a random guy. She was cheating on me emotionally and physically with multiple people for a while. It wasn't just a one-time drunken mistake. It turned into an emotional and sexual relationship with 3 guys that lasted for over 2 months. It doesn't matter if 2 of those relationships were virtual. She intended to meet with them, fully aware of what would happen if they did. Has anyone experienced something like this and can share some helpful advice? It's easy to suggest just getting a divorce and moving on, but it's more complicated than that. I still have feelings for her, and I'm unsure about what will happen with our kids and families. I worry that if I die because of her, her family and friends will find out the truth. I'm concerned she might hurt herself or be in a bad mental state, which could negatively affect our kids. We have a house that isn't finished and no savings. We need to complete the repairs to sell it for any money. After receiving many supportive comments and discussing things with my close friends, I found the encouragement I needed to believe in myself. I realized I couldn't ignore the truth anymore. I knew deep down that I would never get past what my wife did. So last Thursday, I told her I wanted to end our marriage. She didn't look too surprised, so I think she had an idea it was coming. She didn't make any effort to convince me at all. It just repeated over and over. What I say never makes a difference when I ask her to respond. She cried a lot and decided to call in sick to work. Since then, we've been informing our closest friends and family about the upcoming divorce, but she has been very reluctant to tell her parents what happened. My mother knows everything, but I somehow decided not to inform the in-laws about what happened just yet. I'm worried about a conflict with my soon-to-be ex-wife, so I decided to let her take her time to inform them. Last Sunday, we met them and shared the news about the divorce. However, since we had to leave 2 of our kids with them for 3 days because of the school holiday, It didn't seem like the right moment to discuss their daughter's multiple affairs. We told them there were some disagreements we couldn't resolve, and it felt really bad to say that because they looked so disappointed. They have been in my family for nearly 17 years. I care about them a lot. They have supported us over the years, both financially and by enjoying time with our kids. I felt guilty for lying to them, but I'm worried that if I tell the truth, my soon-to-be ex-wife will react negatively and complicate the divorce process. However, my patience has its limits. I will let them know if my wife doesn't admit it soon. I prefer to keep the real reasons for the divorce private. We live in a small community, and I worry that the truth could reach my kids, leading to them being teased. I prefer that the truth stays with our close friends and family. The official reason can be that we divorced because we grew apart and wanted different things. I don't want to be seen as the guy whose wife cheated on him. There are some important loose ends to address. We have to sell our house and look for apartments for ourselves. The custody will be split. I will have the kids for 1 week, and their mother will have them the next week. I think their legal address should be with me, so I won't have to pay her child support. It wouldn't be right after what she did. I don't know how this will turn out, but in my country, mothers usually get their way because people tend to feel sympathy for them. I will stand up for my kids. I'm a 35-year-old woman. My husband, who is 36, cheated on me with my sister, who is 20. He had been seeing her secretly for months without my knowledge. I've shared this before, but I deleted it on the first day because my wife found the post. I didn't use a throwaway account or hide my name. I blocked him and his family because I didn't know who else to talk to about this stuff. Here I am again. It's been a bit more than 3 weeks, and mostly, friends and family don't reach out to me as often. I'm exhausted from thinking about it, worn out from discussing it, yet I can't escape it. He moved out the weekend before last. I'm feeling some relief from not seeing him all the time, but I'm also overwhelmed by being thrown into single parenthood so suddenly and unexpectedly. I don't have the space to grieve properly since I need to take care of my children's feelings. I received plenty of feedback on my original post. Some was helpful and insightful, while other parts were less so. Not everyone reading this will have seen my last post, but I want to provide some context for those who did. My husband and sister didn't grow up together, so I'm not too worried about the grooming part, at least not for the long run. As a child, I lived with my mom while she was with my dad. She was 3 when I left home and 6 when we got married. Being part of a mill family meant I didn't get to visit home often, and when I did, I usually went by myself. He probably met her only 2 to 4 times before she moved to the same city late last year. She claims he victimized her. I understand it may seem wrong to doubt someone who says they are a victim, so I want to explain a few things. 1. I think she is a victim in her past sexual relationships with older men. She likely seeks these relationships due to deep-rooted traumas from her childhood. She has always entered these relationships willingly and does not see herself as a victim of these men. Should the men have known better? Definitely. Did they continue to have inappropriate relationships with her, using her consent as their justification? Definitely. I think my husband should have managed their relationship since he's older. However, I don't believe she ever felt like a victim. Now, she seems to claim that to get my sympathy and forgiveness. He claims she approached him before they even talked and started hinting that she would inform me if their relationship ended. He was very drunk the first time. She had not been drinking, and he claimed she initiated the encounter. What I know is that she sent a friend request to his FetLife account 5 days before they first met. She sent a friend request to Bill's social media account, which had several nude photos. I think she probably fantasized about him, even if she didn't really plan to make a move. Will I ever find out the complete truth of what happened or why it occurred? Most likely not. I'm not sure if they're both being dishonest or if they genuinely believe the nonsense they're creating. I'm not sure how important this is anymore. I can't predict how I'll feel in 6 months, a year, or even 5 years. But at this moment, I really don't know if I can ever forgive either of them for what they've done. Additionally, I want to include, I informed my children, based on my therapist's advice. Since my kids were really close to their aunt, it wasn't easy to handle this by just explaining the reason for our divorce. There was a worry that it would eventually come out in a way I couldn't control, or that I would need to explain why their aunt is no longer around. I figured the best option was to share just enough of the truth. It's been really tough. The importance of truth. Even though one Redditor says, "I'm just looking for pain," I still want to know all the details of what happened. It's not really about the specific details of what happened, but rather the emotions and reasons behind the actions of both my partner and sister. My sister claims that my husband is a sexual predator who groomed and manipulated her. She says he was lending her money while she was unemployed, which made her feel obligated to keep their affair going. Just to clarify, she didn't get fired until after the first meeting. My husband claims that my sister is a sociopath who went after him, started their first meeting, wanted him to leave me, and even hinted that she would inform me if the affair didn't keep going. I find it hard to accept that the people I have loved and known so well could be a predator or a manipulative sociopath. They are both really pushing me for not believing what they say, and they aren't giving me much grace or understanding about my struggle to figure out the truth. Right now, it's hard for me to figure out how to deal with everything and start healing when I can't even grasp why it all happened in the first place. I'm working on understanding the version that makes the most sense to me, but that doesn't mean it's correct. My sister said she would give me any evidence she could and help me understand everything better. When I ask for specific things, she gets angry, thinking that if I need proof, I must not trust her. When I ask my husband for details or specific questions, or if I seem angry, he says he can't handle it. He claims I'm rubbing his face in it or using him as a punching bag, and he keeps threatening to harm himself. He's been dealing with this since January, but I've only known about it for less than a month. I'm still in the early stages of figuring everything out, trying to understand what my life and my children's lives will be like now. I'm learning how to deal with the complicated legal matters I've never faced before, all while trying to maintain my personal and professional life, carrying this emotional weight with me. Neither of them seems to get why I'm angry or why I can't trust what they say. They are focused on themselves and have completely overlooked what they did to me and my children, as well as how long it will take for us to deal with this grief. I'm really angry. The sadness is manageable, but this rage is overwhelming, and I'm not sure how to handle it. I'm unsure how to escape it or cope with it. I'm really tired. Update 1. It hasn't even been 2 months since I found out, but it feels like it's been way longer. It's tough to recall the time before any of this happened. We've chosen to proceed with divorce using only a mediator, despite the recommendations against it. I think he really feels sorry, and I just want to handle this peacefully to minimize the impact on the kids. We've agreed on everything in the divorce decree documents, and I'm happy with the choices we've made. Disgusting entitlement. I just want to finish this. I'm in therapy, and I feel like it's helping me process things. However, my toughest days seem to come right after my sessions. I want to discuss other things with my therapist, but I understand that I can't rush through this part. I can't do this. My sister contacted me after I asked her to keep our distance. She was blocked on all platforms except my phone number, but now that's blocked too. In that short conversation, she asked if she could reach out to my kids, and I requested that she not try to contact them. She got mad and sent me a direct message. I chose not to reply. A few days later, she sent my middle child a request to join a game on Roblox. I missed that one. My child deleted and blocked her from the app, but I'm frustrated that my sister ignored my request for no contact. I'm thinking about filing for a row, but I'm unsure if it's the right choice. I'm frustrated that I'm doubting so many of my decisions. I don't want to seek petty revenge or use my kids against her, but it seems that just asking her isn't working. She has tickets to a concert in our state in August, and I'm concerned she might try to go. I'm still feeling a bit lost emotionally. My emotions are definitely calmer now. The kids and I just got back from a 4-day trip to the beach at Disney. That was helpful. I don't check in with my family much these days. I don't want to keep going over the same things with them. It has to be tiring for them as well. I've been feeling really alone lately, and I'm not sure what to do about it. Thank you for being here. I'm really grateful for all the support and advice I've gotten here. I want to talk about some of the usual replies. My soon-to-be ex-husband is also not in touch with my sister. He completely backs the kids staying no contact with her, as it has become clear that she is not telling the truth about being victimized by him. I'm still holding him accountable for what he did, but now I understand the more complex aspects of his role. My state has a protective order against harassment. This is different from a CPORO because you can apply for it due to emotional distress. She has definitely done that for me and them. I'm moving to Van as a single parent. I just got back from visiting Van. After checking out 3 schools, I think we've decided on Skyview. That would place us in the Salmon Creek and Hazeldale areas. It's a really nice place. Hello everyone. My kids and I are moving to Van in late 2024. I'm doing a lot of research on the front end since I'm coming from Australia and can't visit often. I do have 2 short trips planned for this fall. I'm in a nurse practitioner program and will have about a year left to graduate when we get there. The cost of living is high, but I only need to manage for a year. After that, I'll have enough saved to support myself. I'm checking the zoning for Columbia River or Union High schools. I'm looking for information about those areas and schools. Any insights would be appreciated. Which areas should I steer clear of? What places can I afford with an RN salary? We'd prefer a 3BR, but since we only plan to rent or buy a lower-end home for the first year to year and a half, a 2BR could work for now. We have 2 dogs, so that's something to think about too. Thanks for your help and insight. This is my first time moving alone, and it's a significant one.